For those of you wondering why there's a palm tree in the background, no, I'm not back on the Canary Islands. I'm actually now in Luxembourg. And Luxembourg is also related to the topic of today, because here in the country there was a new organization that was created calling itself European Youth in Luxembourg. And basically it is a pro-EU youth organization that promotes the EU in general. And they released a video telling people why they should join, why they should sign up. And I wanted to take the opportunity today to rebut the video and what they said. So what you have in the video, I'll be putting a link down below, by the way, so you can check it out for yourself, is there's a bunch of different people speaking in different languages, and they are being asked, what is the European Union to you? So these are the members of this organization telling you what they associate with the European Union. And say they give you 8 different things that they associate with the European Union. I'm going to go through all of them. So first off, they take the common currency. That's a good thing to pick right away, right off the bat, because there's only 19 out of 28 member states actually participating in the common currency. And if you give me an example that is only applied in 60% of cases, I'm not very impressed. And of course, the common currency is not a good example also because, well, the European Union basically obligates you to be a part of the common currency as soon as you reach certain economic targets and financial targets. Then you are obligated to take the common currency, the euro, except that you're not, because countries such as Denmark, Sweden, the UK, and also other countries such as the Czech Republic, which are now moving or probably are already on the targets, actually say that, well, yeah, we don't actually want the common currency because it's a crappy, the euro is crappy and it's not very interesting to take it. And of course, they're absolutely right. If you take the comparison, when we had the crisis in 2008, Greece had a really, really tough time getting out of the crisis, notably because of the euro, while a country like Iceland, which is associated with the European Union through different treaties, does not have the euro and therefore got out of it much easier. And of course, so there's a bunch of opt-outs. Denmark, Sweden opted out and said we don't want to take the euro, and the European Union said that's fine. But of course, what the people in this video mean when they say common currency is that they can go on holidays to the south of France and they don't have to exchange money. That's the low level of convenience that they are actually bringing up, and that of course is not an economic argument whatsoever. The next word they take is opportunity. No clue what that's supposed to mean. I'm pretty sure by opportunity they actually mean transfers. So things such as Erasmus, so that they get money from the European Union to go study. I can't think of a precise reason why anyone would, of course, enjoy this. Turns out if you give students a bunch of money to spend some time abroad in to learn not much more than the local drinks, and you give them money to do that, then suddenly they like you. Hardly surprising there. Next thing is protection of human rights. Well, the European Union does have a charter on this, but so does the Council of Europe, of which all the EU member states are a part of, including some other countries such as Turkey and Russia. And therefore, there's no real need for the European Union to do that. We already had treaties prior to the European Union that watched out for the protection of human rights and are actually more efficient to do that. Because in the EU, if a country violates human rights, what you need to do is you need to see how you can sanction the country, while the European Court of Human Rights can actually treat your case individually, much easier and much more effective, as we have seen in the past, than the European Union does. Culture was another word that they used. Again, no clue. That's not a competency of the European Union. If your culture is the European Union, well, that's only since 1992. Mind you that in 1991 we already had the first website. So if websites are older than your culture, well, I'm not the one to judge, right? But I don't think that's a good buzzword whatsoever. The next word that they had is promoting diversity. Once again, the European Union promotes diversity by the fact that we have the Schengen Treaty, which is not part of the European Union, by the way. It is, of course, countries are supposed to have freedom of movement, but again, promoting diversity, not exactly sure what that means, apart from the fact that people want to move to different countries, but that they already do on their own. So that's just something very random. Then we have growth, fairly ironic because growth rates are definitely not great outside of those countries in Central and Eastern Europe, which actually see good growth rates, and are having a tough time seeing how that's because of the European Union, because countries such as Ukraine can already have deep association agreements without being a member of the European Union, and also can experience growth rates if they take the opportunity to do so. The next one is no borders. Again, for anyone who says no borders, has never flown to France because they ID you. You can't take a car from Germany to Denmark. You can't take a car from Germany to Denmark. You still get stopped on the border, on the Danish border. Then you have a massive fence financed by the European Union in Hungary. So the no border thing is very interesting. In general, if you got rid of, this is my take, if you got rid of Schengen, you'd see that all the countries that like Schengen would not reinstitute border checks anyway, and the countries that like border checks are already not respecting the Schengen Treaty right now. So the whole no borders thing is not true, because countries that are members of the European Union are not obligated to be a member of the Schengen Treaty, and two, even those that are members of the Schengen Treaty are not very good at respecting it. And then the last one is promote solidarity, which I guess they could almost be used as a synonym for promoting diversity, because that's unless you mean transfer payments, which the European Union doesn't do when it comes to social, like welfare payments and so on. The European Union doesn't do that. It can give recommendations, but even in that sense, it's not really understanding what that means. Outside of maybe promoting solidarity when it comes to paying other countries for their infrastructure, when it comes to cohesion funds. But then again, the solidarity here is a bit lost on me if it's on an individual basis. So if your best argument for the European Union is the fact that we pay for bridges, roads, and tunnels in Romania, I don't think it's a very good argument either. It's very costly, and it doesn't convince anyone to be any more European. What we need is free trade. We should have free trade between countries, and I also think we need free movement. None of these things are necessary. None of these things necessitate the European Union. We don't need the political institutions of the European Union whatsoever. The European Union was created in 1992. It's completely unnecessary to the structures that people like. All the examples that people give, what they like about the European Union are actually not associated with what the European Union does the most, which is regulate and over-regulate your everyday lives, and therefore I'm not a fan, and I'm not very impressed by this video. I think if the European youth in Luxembourg wants to get people excited about Europe, probably they should campaign against the European Union. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.